Hello everyone and welcome to a Phyrexia All Will Be One premiere draft featuring Alchemy. So this is a bonus video which will not delay the content from the regular set at all. But I figured that since my normal uploads happen once every 2 days, I can fill the off days with these alchemy drafts. These haven't been very popular when I have done these in the past, but since I'm drafting this set regardless, I mean, this basically means every draft pack has one alchemy card. It's guaranteed to have one alchemy card. Rarity can be anything, which means that double rares are possible. I will be completing the alchemy set too, and I will be drafting a lot of these drafts. So I'm gonna record maybe a couple of these, even though they are not very popular among my viewers. But like I said, that doesn't remove anything. It's not taking anything away from the regular traditional draft uploads, which will happen every second day. So, for example, when this gets uploaded on the next day, there will be a traditional draft on my channel. I will take this. I actually didn't really talk about much. This Ravager is good, the Chimney Rabble is good, but this is a very interesting card. 3 mana 2/2 toxic one. You can haste this flyer, I mean, and then as you can see, when you when you deal the combat damage to when this thing deals combat damage to a player, I get to seek a card maybe. It has to have the same mana value as the number of poison counters on the opponent. So of course the first one might not be a 1-drop in the deck, but of course among 2, then 3 and 4 mana cards there will be something to seek in basically almost every limited deck. There might be a 5 mana card, there might be a 6 mana card, those might be a little bit more rare. So you don't get always a card, but even if you get just one card, it's still very good because this is a playable card even if you never get to get any additional cards. Okay, but now I could take the Skrell's Hive, it seems pretty decent here. It's just yeah, you could, take a black card and keep, colors open, but this is actually quite good card, especially if most of your creatures will be toxic. So I'm just gonna take the Hive here, and then I have a Phyrexian Obliterator. Well, first of all, I have 0 of these. These are not the Alchemy Mythic rares, but this is from the main set, and I want to complete both. Now that said, this of course requires a hefty investment to black mana, which is not impossible to do this early in the draft. I already have a black card I want to play. I might abandon the Hive, but just play mostly mono black or entirely mono black. I'm gonna take that also because it is a mythic rare I want to collect, but it's definitely a card you could take, and if black is enough open, you might actually get to play this, and it's of course an insanely strong card if you get to cast it. Now, Furnace Punisher and Planetary Disruption are the other options. So I guess there's an Annihilating Glare, which you could consider too, but it's an easy obliterator here. And now, if black just would be open, I would just, draft mono black, but there's no way I'm gonna play Duration. And remember, this is a premier draft. The Alchemy draft is not available as a traditional draft. It's not that popular, and of course, best of 3 drafts aren't that popular. So I don't think that queue would fire up that much. So I understand the decision to not make best of 3 Alchemy drafts, but this means I don't benefit from picking any sideboard options. I'm just gonna draft one main deck and that's it. Now, I could take the Crawling Chorus here. So let's keep 2 options available here. Either a black-white toxic deck or a mono-black deck if that black happens to be open enough. Which, based on this pack, might not be the case, but it could be just a pack that doesn't have a lot of black cards. Now, I have only one black card in here. It's, playable, of course, but not really a reason maybe to go that direction now. There is an Infectious Bite, which is the best card in the pack. A tablet is, I like this in some maybe blue-based proliferation decks. Blue-black, blue-green can easily get to the range to draw cards with this quickly enough. But I'm not taking it here. The decision is between the Infectious Bite and the Ascendant, I think. With the Hive and the Chorus, I think I should take the Toxic creature here. And I could be still green-white, but I could be black-white too. I kind of want to play the Blightwing Whelp still, even if I can't play the Obliterator here. Okay, well this is an easy one. I can just take the Head Cleaver, and this does seem like I might ignore the Obliterator, but it's still early. It's possible this will be a mono-black deck, but let's just take the Head Cleaver, which goes very well with the black and white plan I have here. brewing currently? Okay, again, the only black card is the Duress, so no. I'll just take 20 gems here, because... yeah, I guess you could take the Plague Nurse in case you are moving to green, white, green, black. If I open like a green bomb rare. But it seems pretty likely that I will be white and black, so I'm just gonna take the 20 gems. Alright, the Scrap Trap I like actually quite a bit. There's the Alchemy card from this pack, no one took it, it's a blue-green one. So it's similar to the black 2 mana 1/1 flying in a toxic creature. It has of course an additional benefit. Opponent might pick up some additional poison counters, but mostly this is just that. So it's not a particularly strong card, it's 2 colors, so I understand why it's not been picked by anyone. But the Scrap Trap is great way to just deal 2 poison to the opponent if you are playing the, the poison archetype. Now I'm not taking 20 gems here because I do like these lands that draw cards, so I'll just take the Fair Basilica there. And here I guess I have nothing for me. The best cards are the blue ones here. Well, let's take the Raptor if I somehow end up blue after all. Let's take the Helm. I don't plan to play it, but it's a random playable if I need one. Okay, no one took the Serum Snare, which is quite decent, I would say. Atlas if I am ending up with some kind of a splash. I do have only 3 white cards, but they're quite good, each of them. And this pack has an Alchemy card, which isn't the best, but it is still decent in the sense that you always get a card from it. So early in the game you're actually probably quite happy to fetch a planes, because this is a 1/1, 2 mana 1/1 that fetches your planes, with toxic one of course. So it doesn't really participate in combat that nicely, but if the opponent doesn't have a blocker, this will deal the 1 poison to the opponent. But you get a card from it. And later in the game, when hopefully opponent is corrupted, I get to seek a non-land card, which is just a draw a card basically that can't be a land. That is good late in the game. So it's gonna be the peak here. Not much else from my deck. If I first picked somehow the Ravager and went red green, this could be my second Ravager. But yeah, let's just take the fetchling. Solidify us on black and white. Let's first see what the Alchemy card does. So 5 mana 4/4 flyer, that already means that it's gonna be great in limited. When this enters the battlefield, if there are no non-basic lands in your library. Alright, that's actually an interesting card. I think with this card in my deck, I wouldn't play any of the Fair Basilicas and I wouldn't play any of the Terramorphic Expanses. This is just a very good payoff. It's very easy to do in limited. Now you would have to play like a 9/8 or 10/7 mana base unless you happen to be mono red. But this is a really good card, not for me. Here I'm taking the 7 mana card. I don't like it in this particular archetype because this is quite aggressive, but there's not much else for me. I mean, what I'm gonna take here, if I'm not taking that like a draw spits, I think I'm gonna play the Kaya, and this is a reason to play 17 lands also. Alright, well this pack is very good. What's the Alchemy card? 4 mana thing that proliferates, and whenever you proliferate during your turn... Okay, so first of all, because this proliferates, you get to draft something from the spellbook here. So, I mean, you can just pause or something. I will just very quickly go through this. I'm not gonna pick this blue-green card. And then, of course, the main idea is that you will be proliferating more than once. So you will get multiple cards out of this. And you see some very good cards here. There were some bomb rare quality cards there. But anyway, Ossification versus Kemba is third edition. And yeah, this can be quite nice to make those cats at 5 mana. But this is just a very good removal spell. And I really need some of that stuff, because removal is important. Alright, I can take the Hive Master here. Yeah, I think I'm gonna play the Kaya. That might be a reason to play the Phyrexian Atlas too, because this also has the additional benefit of, making the opponent lose life. You don't always win with poison. Sometimes you win with regular damage, and this can help there too. And having a 7 mana card might be a reason to do that. Anyway, here I would like to have a complete devotion, but I still need quality 2s, and this is a high quality 2 drop, so let's just take that. And here, so the Alchemy card has been taken, so nothing new in this pack. I think because this deck doesn't really want to have the Justiciar. I guess I might still need a 2-drop, but I have some. Skrell's Hive kind of counts as one. I don't really care about this thing. By the way, the Obliterator is gonna go to the sideboard. Sadly, I won't be having the mana base for that. I'm gonna be greedy and just take 20 gems. I think it's quite unlikely that I would be playing the Justice here. And here I have options. Actually, multiple options. Oh, because the Skull Bomb is totally fine. Charge of the Might is really decent. The Gladiator could work because it's a 2-drop, which I kind of still want to have, and it works somehow in the corrupted deck. It's not the strongest corrupted payoff, definitely one of the weakest payoffs, but it's still something you can benefit from. But the Zealot's Conviction would also be nice, but I think it's better to take the removal / creatures combination. I will take the draw pitch over another 20 gems here. Also, I will be playing 17 lands because of Kaya. That means I do want to, have these sacrificable lands to somehow prevent flooding. Alright, so Vanish into Memory, which I never really like. 20 gems. I think I will take the Vanish now. It's still a playable card. Okay, I can take this one. Who knows, maybe I'll play 18 lands. If I get enough of these, I might actually play 18 lands. It still won't be enough for the Obliterator, even with the Atlas. Okay, I think the more likely scenario is that I play 17 lands and the Atlas. Can that be enough black sources? Because I think I wouldn't play this without 12 black sources. So even with the Atlas, that means 11 lands that produce black, and that's so many white cards here, so I don't think I can really, play so few white producing lands. I think I'll put the Atlas to the deck for now, at least. Alright, I'm definitely not playing 2 Vanish into Eternities. I will possibly play 1, but I can take the Fair Basilica too now. And whatever, I'll just take the uncommon. This is not a Mere Kinsmith deck. I don't know if there is a deck that wants to actually run those Mere Kinsmiths. 4 mana 3/1 is, even if it nets you a card, it's still going to be very expensive for the stats you get. Alright, so this is now an automated pick here. The thing about this Alchemy draft is that I want to actually complete the set. It has 5 mythic rares, that times 4 is 20. And yeah, you open some from the packs, of course, but that you can win from this event. But it's gonna be the hardest thing to complete the Alchemy mythic rares. So I'm gonna take basically all the Alchemy mythic rares. Now this would be of course amazing if you were a green. It is double green, so you can't even splash this. But this is a crazy good card, obviously. Now, if this mythic rare wasn't here, I think I would take, well, the decision would be either the Ascendant or the Charge of the Might, and I think I would like the Ascendant. I could use another 4-drop, but now I'll just take the mythic rare, which goes straight to my sideboard once I find it here. Alright, anything for my deck? Yeah, definitely no rare picking here. This is just unplayable card. The -1/-1 is such a harsh thing. It outright kills some of your creatures and makes the rest so bad. Alright, so the question is it going to be a Shepherd, Scrap Trap number 2, Whisper of the Dross? Oh, and there's also Incisor Glider, which I think is quite important given that I don't have a 2-drop. This actually also functions as a 2-drop that can block, which is important especially when you're on the draw. So I would actually like the Whisper quite a bit, but I think I need to have the 2-mana creature. Alright, well, this is a crazy pack because first of all, there's a Hex Gold Slash, darn good card. And there's a very good 2-drop for me, there's an Ossification, and there's a Nonce Fetchling. This actually is quite nice, that planes fetching because of the Kaya, which I kind of want to play. I'm black and white, even if a 7-drop is not really what this deck wants to do. This is such a crazy good card if you get to cast it. I will play it. Ossification, I mean, I just take the Ossification. I really think the Rat and the 2-drop white card are both very good, but man, the Ossification is such a good removal spell. Alright, Flensing Raptor or a 2-drop, because the Flensing Raptor is the better card. I just happen to have, well, not a ton of 3-drops, but yeah, I mean, there's even the Hive Master and the Whisper. Man, these are all in the same pack. Just like in the previous pack from where I took the Ossification, there were so many good picks for me. I actually think I have to take the 2-mana card here, even though Raptor is very good. But I need to think about my mana curve. Oh man, I'm of course very happy that my colors are totally open in this direction. I still have 4 cards. I would be happy to take any of them. But is it gonna be the Raptor now? I mean, I actually think it might be that one drop still. I'm actually short on early plays, so can you imagine passing 2 Raptors when you are a white toxic deck? This is just so good. For example, against red-green, they just need to use removal on this thing or this trades with any of their big things. And red-green is one of the more drafted archetypes here. Alright, here I think I'll take from these options now the head cleaver. Charge of the Mites is decent, but I think I'll just take the... This is good blocker and very decent attacker. Yeah, let's do it. Okay, another mythic rare from Alchemy, and this time I don't even... I mean, the Vraska's Fall I would play, but I'm just gonna take the mythic here to complete the set. I don't think the Vraska's Fall is that good, but I'm actually concerned about the number of playables here, because this is 23 cards, but only 19 spells, so I have to play maybe some not so great cards. Okay, I'm gonna take the Against All Odds. It's not a card I usually run. Maybe I have some ETBs, maybe I don't, but at least I can return something for extra cost because you get something that costs less than 4, but you have to pay 4. But I mean, I have to take some playables here now. I'm still not taking the Centurion. Am I gonna play the Dross Pitch now? But I could actually play 18 lands here. Not that I'm gonna run out of spells to run. Okay, well anyway, I got the Whisper of the Dross here. That was a really nice pickup. Basilica's Calvum. Okay, so this actually does wrap up mostly my playables. Okay, it wasn't so bad. Okay, and one more card. I don't think I'm gonna play 2 Atlas. Okay, then let's cut the lands for now. But indeed, it is so that I have 22 spells here now with the Atlas, with 1 Atlas. I could play the Gold Warden's Helm if I just want to have a 3 mana card. 12 creatures. Now, can I play the Obliterator? If I would play like double Atlas, I don't think it happens because I'm pretty sure that, and this Fetchling also gets only a plains. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that the quadruple black is so hard to cast that I haven't done any, you know, what's the calculator's name? Hypergeometric calculator math about the likelihood to hit 4 mana of certain color, based on how many of those sources you have in your deck. But my gut feeling is that I would never play this in a deck that has less than 12 ways to generate black mana. So if I would play double Atlas, I would still play 10 swamps. And that would leave room for like 6 plains. And with the amount of white cards in the deck, I actually have more white than black. 6 is not enough. Even though the Fetchling can early in the game fetch me 1, but I mean I need a plains in the first place to cast this thing. Alright. So I guess because this is now 18 spells, so the decisions I have to make a decision based on, do I want to play 18 lands? Sorry, did I say 18 spells? 22 obviously, which would indicate 18 lands if I wouldn't add any more spells here. So I could play 18 lands because I do have 5 sacrificable lands that can draw more cards. And then I could also play the second copy of Atlas instead of the 18th land. Maybe with the life loss thing, it's maybe makes sense. And I can play the Gold Warden's Helm if I just want to have like a random 3-drop that can block. And I guess I can move around the equipment for a +1, +0, +1, which is of course not very good. Yeah, I picked a couple of mythic rares, which actually I picked 3 mythic rares, so I suppose, redrafting wise, this was a very successful draft because I got 1 from the main set, 2 from the Alchemy set. So now if I can hit like 3 wins, I get 1000 gems back. Here's a premier draft. I would be very happy of the outcome in that case. Alright, so now I actually think that running 18 lands is just almost strictly worse than running 17 plus the second Atlas, because I will be able to make the opponent lose life with these Atlases. Shouldn't be that impossible at all. This also accelerates into my 7-drop. Well, I suppose also on the scrap trap, but there are basically only 2 cards they can accelerate into. Alright. They will add any mana. Okay, let's play the double Atlas, even though during the draft I said I won't be playing 2 of them, but hey, I changed my mind. Okay, I'm allowed to do that. Okay, so the deck doesn't actually seem very good. I'm so sad about passing 2 of those fencing raptor. What's the 3 mana 2/2 that can make these, any toxic creature fly? But those packs had other cards I wanted to have. Yeah, well, I have Kaya. Maybe I can cast Kaya once. So let's see what this thing does. I know approximately what it does, but I want to make sure now that I'm actually playing it. So if I have to count on drawing this, so I can drain to 3 life with a plus, making this go to 8 loyalty right away. And with hexproof, opponent can't deal with it using targeted removal. Now, for free, you can draw 2 cards, and then the opponent can scry 1. But yeah, draw 2 is pretty strong when it doesn't even cost loyalty. Exile target creature or enchantment. If it wasn't an aura created token, that's a copy of that, except it's a 1/1. Okay, so it's basically just exile removal. Of course, a 7 mana walker can have a -3 loyalty exile effect. That's of course normal, but in addition to that, you have to have something else. And I get a copy of that thing, and it's a white 1/1 flyer. Gets of course all the abilities which it has. Yeah, so all of these 3 abilities, they are just amazing. The hard part is to cast it, but I have the mana sources for that. 17 lands plus 2 Phyrexia Atlas, and then Nonce Fetchling can sometimes get me a plane, so I'm not too concerned about that. I don't think anything here really cares about oil, and I don't want to make my mana worse, although I suppose I don't have any more double casters than this, double caster at 7. So I could play the Facade, whichever it is, but nothing here cares about oil, of course, because this is the color combination. Well, yeah, it is. It is the color combination that has the least oil stuff. Blue, red, and green all have more things that care about oil. Okay, so this is actually the deck. I'll just add the remaining basic lands. So 12 white, 9 black. With Atlas, but I will be playing 18 lands. So sorry, it's 17 only. So because I have more white cards, I should play more white producing lands here. Oh, this is the preferred. Yeah, this is after the update. Okay, well, I suppose I can play this. But these are the all will be 1 lands. All right. So that's now 9 for planes, and that would be, well, not planes, but 9 for white mana production and 8 for black mana production, plus the double Atlas and this thing that can get me a planes. Yeah, this should be good. Of course, if you are running. Okay, I didn't want to go there. If you're running, double Phyrexia Atlas, that will make your mana easier. So yeah, this is a deck that wants to. It has the capability to poison the opponent. A lot of my creatures have poison. I have some proliferating. Actually, not a lot, but some. This thing proliferates too. This thing proliferates, and this dies and proliferates. All right. And let's see this thing. Yeah, this can get me some cards. It can actually get me 1 mana cards too, because as you can see, my deck has 4 1 mana cards. A lot of 2s, a lot of 3s, 4 4s, 1 5, 1 7. So this can get a card fairly easily, I would say. Okay, that is the. I was about to say main deck, but no, this is the deck. There's no sideboarding in best of 1. All right. Hive into maybe charge into potentially these. That's not a bad start. Okay, I at least got the 4th land right away. And also the 5th. But opponent did not play a 2-drop, and I get to start churning out these hive tokens. Oh, they have no 3-drop either. Well, I mean, it's kind of very tempting to just, you know, play the charge at 2 creatures. But the problem is they can't... I mean, I guess I'm getting one of these every turn. They play one blocker, they kill one. Okay, you know what? I'm not playing the Skull Bomb now, because the problem with the Skull Bomb is that it's kind of inefficient use of mana. I can play it on the later turn. So I'm assuming they have a creature. They have that thing, which I want to... Well, at 6 mana I can of course get rid of it. Here, 5 toughness. Yeah, I'm not gonna kill it with the Charge of the Might. So let's just do this. Couple of these guys. I get 2 poison to the opponent, and I can play my... Menace guy here. My guys will soon have lifelink. And then I have Skull Bomb up. I can actually play, activate, and still play the Skull Dweller. This requires playing plus activating. It takes 4 mana, and this of course only 1. Siphoner. Okay, if that blocks any of my guys, I don't mind. So now they might go for a double block on the Head Clipper, which is fine. Against all odds. Currently isn't returning anything, so... and I don't benefit from the flicker effect either. So am I going to hope that they don't have a removal in here? There are some... No, not... Wait a minute. What instant can actually... Because this can't get exiled with the exile mana value 3 or less thing. The bite effect is not enough. They can't activate both the Death Touch. Yeah, this is actually rather easy decision now. I'll just make this guy fly. It has Menace, which means that it can't be blocked by just a Siphoner. And of course I will attack with everything. I lose one of these 1/1s, and if they want to trade the Siphoner on there, that's just fantastic for me, of course. They might have a trick to save the Siphoner, but anyway, now they are at... They didn't have anything of that kind, and now they're at 5 poison. My guys have lifelink, so the life loss in here doesn't matter too much. Not that the opponent is really pressuring me anyway. So and I actually have the 6th mana here. Okay, this can block my flyers, which are non-existent now, but of course the entire point here is that I can just exile any creature because I hit my 6th mana here. So I'll just exile. Doesn't actually matter even. They are losing, is it? Oh no, they are almost losing. Yeah, let's exile the 6/5, I guess. Doesn't really matter. They are not gonna win this game because they are gonna go to 9 poison right now. And then of course, even if they somehow deal with the entire board, I need... Well, I guess I don't have like 1,000 proliferating effects, but I have a few, so that those are insta wins. And of course I still have this board, and green-black doesn't actually have a way to mass remove stuff unless Alchemy has something. I don't recall every card in the Alchemy set. I don't remember all those, even though I have checked the spoiler a couple of times. But I don't think there was really a way for them to deal with this stuff. Alright, so turn 2 Skrell's Hive when the opponent doesn't have anything. I mean, their first play in this game, it was the turn 4 play. That's really punishing. Okay, I'm on the play. Chorus starts to do some poison, and then I can maybe deal one additional with this thing once they get a blocker. So let's see if they have a 2 toughness blocker or 3 toughness blocker in here. They have a 1 toughness blocker, which they don't want to really trade with this thing, because I will get my thing anyway. Oh, and there I can play the Atlas. Of course, I'm happy if they do block. Ah, yeah, now I understand. They are gonna use the Skull Bomb to bounce the... Skull Bomb to bounce the 1-1 here. Okay, fair. That will take their next turn, though. And, well, I guess, I would like to deal the poison to get the life loss stuff happening with this Phyrexia Atlas, but I mean, still my 1-drop traded with their 2-drop, even if they get to bounce this now. Or they are not even gonna do that. Interesting. Okay, that's a bit too many lands, but I suppose 2 of them will give me cards. Well, I mean, there's a flash 3-2. Now this thing is not, I mean, both of these Skull Bombs obviously are sorcery speed things, but let's see what they are gonna do here if I try to attack. Because there is a flash 3-2 that could just eat this guy for free. Do I like that? Because they, I mean, they didn't use this. They would have used it if they had. I mean, what else can it be? They're playing blue-white. That's an artifact creature. I think that's gonna be what the card they're having there. So I'm gonna do it like this. I could crack this, but I will maybe crack it on their end step. Yeah, exactly. This is what I was talking about. So I didn't want to give them the free value out of that thing, and now they have to actually use the Skull Bomb on this before, if they wanna get some. Well, if they wanna get rid of this, of course they can just play a creature, and then I guess I will ossificate that thing. Yeah, so I get to deal my poison. Now this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana, 6, 7. I guess I can crack one of my lands. And I still have access to 5 mana on the next turn because I will have 4 lands on this thing. So only if I draw specifically the Kaya, I'm gonna get slowed by it a little bit. So, okay, vanish. I'm still happy to draw it. I have the double black here too. Alright, so ossification. Get rid of them. Okay, so this land. Get rid of the enforcer here. And I get to deal 1 additional. Oh, actually, let's not be foolish. I'm gonna crack this now that it's safe. I want to draw another card, of course. I guess I should have not played the ossification first before seeing what I draw here, but oh, anyway, I would have ended up doing that. I didn't realize I have the mana for that activation. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lands on the next turn. Now they bounce that, but I can actually have the hasty attacker. Okay, this is sweet. I'm gonna only go to. Yeah, I will take some damage on the next turn, but this will. Oh, and I can actually play this, which maybe isn't able to block these, but I mean this is still what I'm doing here. This will also corrupt the opponent. So what I will do, I play this, give it haste. And I will get to seek a 3 mana card. Seek, of course, means draw a card from anywhere in the deck that fits the criteria if you are not familiar with alchemy mechanics. So a random 3 mana card from the deck will be put to my hand, and it is another Atlas, which, you know, gives me the mana for the Kaya, if nothing else. Okay. So all I need to do is stabilize, which will be rather easy with Kaya, obviously. But the opponent has now... Okay, that's... Yeah, because I'm gonna take 6 damage here. I'm not gonna jump block here. So just a land would be nice. Of course, a lot of my lands will be entering tapped. I can, you know, exile the immobilizer. That will cost only 3. So I can do all kinds of things. Let's first try to attack. They are gonna tap down the whelp, I'm pretty sure. They don't want to let me get a 4 mana card. So now I could attack with this thing. Because I don't really think I'm going to block with it. So Okay, I can't block the 2-1 though. Okay, there's no point dealing 2 here. Okay, why would I deal 2? My game plan is I will win if I get to stabilize, so no attacks. It's quite likely they will have an artifact for this thing, but regardless. Okay, I'm gonna play the Atlas. That makes me able to cast the Kaya on the next turn. And now the... Yeah, I'm gonna just have the Duelist of the Deep Faith to not block here. And I should have used the... well, I suppose I can... because these will make the opponent lose life now, so I will use... I'm gonna activate the haste or something. Of course I can tap down these for fun too, but... Okay, Malkats are giving them the one artifact. Do they have... Okay, actually that means I still can double block the Justiciar now that I did leave the Glider here, but do they have yet another artifact here? I assume a blue-white deck that is, artifact deck has most of their spells being artifacts. Yeah, that's making this into a 4-3, but I will double block the... No, I won't double, I just block the Prowler with the Duelist of Deep Fate. I will take 4 here, but this can start gaining me life. I could even jump block the 4-3 if I really want to. But this will be... Yeah, I can exile. Yeah, it's a really sad thing that... They had 1-1 plus a 3-3. They get some cards from this. I'm not too concerned about that. I guess I can jump block with the Glider later on too. So... Let's go to 4. I don't like it. Not sure what I'm doing with Kaya. Let's just use this now a couple of times just to, make them lose some life. Yeah, this Justiciar has been a 2-mana very big creature here. Of course, that's what it does in the, dedicated deck. But that has been a very good value for just 2 mana. They get some value from the Wellspring too, but... Oh boy. They might even let me attack, but of course there's no reason to let them know about my intentions before giving them the opportunity to tap the Whelp. Okay, they use the tap there. So of course no attacks. And then Kaya has to be the play, so let me see. I can be facing here, well currently I'm facing 6 damage. So if I do this, I go to 7, they have an artifact and they tap down the Glider and I will lose the game. So I actually have to exile the Justiciar. I will get a lifelink 1-1 copy myself and then I will have 2 blockers for their stuff. That has to happen now. So now I get rid of an attacker and I get a blocker myself, even one with lifelink. So now by just... Yeah, they would still win the game if they have 2 removal... No, 1 removal spell, but I can't play around everything. I wasn't in a position to do that. That's not a removal spell, because they can remove 1 and block, tap the other, and of course then they would just attack for 4. Okay, they don't want me to have access to the lifelinker. I get to still block the Malkator here. Okay, they choose to... Well, that actually makes sense. Yeah, I'm still gonna block here. I'm gonna lose my Kaya. So... I don't have to do this block, but I think it makes the most sense. I wanna get rid of that thing. Yeah, the Flesh Cutter can be annoying. I guess I can exile it. I guess I can exile this thing too. They will be able to draw a card from it now, though. They still have 1 tap here. Yeah, this was nasty. I have a lifelink flyer. Okay. How do I do it? I can get now a 4-mana card from the deck. Do I want to attack for 1 here? They can equip this. It's +2/+0, but I can actually... I think I have to exile the Flesh Cutter of all things. I'm going to get the card first. I don't have any artifact because of course if I have an artifact this will get +1/+1, but I don't have one. So let's just go with the attacks here. That's gonna give me a 4-drop. I have 3 of them. Head Cleaver is a good one. So this will allow me to do this. And then I can exile the Flesh Cutter. So I'm assuming they will tap down now, the 2/4. Equip the Flesh Cutter, but then I will exile the Flesh Cutter and I will go down to 1 here. That's the idea. But they have 2 cards still in their hand, so I can still lose to some kind of a pump effect here. This is in cancel. Tap it. And now before they attack, I don't wanna give them any main phase actions. So this is now gonna get exiled. Unless they counter it, of course. Wow. That's game over. They had exactly what they needed because I was so close to just stabilizing here. They lost their, you know, the big thing here is that they lost the final counter from the Tamiya's immobilizer. Here. So they were no longer able to tap down. I could have connected with this guy. I mean, assuming they didn't have the counter spell, or maybe they just have a post-combat creature that maybe doesn't fly. I will attack with this and I get my 1 5-drop. It's the thing that proliferates on ETB and proliferates when it dies. And then I still keep, you know, gaining 1 point of life with this thing. And I'm actually quite quickly winning with, not necessarily poison, but just by dealing enough, you know, life loss to them and damage. Well, damage causes life loss. But they had to reject imperfection, which was one of the few things that can actually. No, actually, they could have had a pump spell still. They are more common. Yeah. But still, it was. I think if I were able to untap there, I was in a very good shape. But yeah, the Mandible Justice or whatever it is, it was too much indeed. Because I had to use the Kaya as -3. I really would have wanted to use it as a +2 to make it into an 8 loyalty and start draining the opponent, but that was too risky. I couldn't go to 7 there. That wouldn't have been enough. Okay. Guess I'm gonna keep it. I have the 3 mana. I have some early interaction, and maybe I will just cycle this Skull Bomb now to maybe hit something to play on turn 3. A creature. Okay, well I can also just draw that. Another blue-white. Well, at least I'm the sort of an aggressor right now. Okay, that's actually totally fine because I won't get any proliferate value, but I'm still happy to get rid of the glider here. And this thing will be most likely drawing a card at the end of the turn. I of course do want to hit my 4th land. Okay, 3rd color. Ossification, they don't like that duelist, but I can get rid of the ossification for 3 mana using the vanish here, but I don't have that much mana up now. Let's hope to draw the 4th land. Okay, I did. So, do they have more removal? I can corrupt them if I get to hit with this guy. And of course, I can do it through 1 blocker. Maybe they have another removal spell. If it is the pacifism aura, then of course I can just exile it and then. Okay, that's not it. And even drew the 5th land, so this is pretty good now. They will get to go to 3 poison now. And I have a blocker on the Hive Master. This exiles creatures if I draw one more mana. Seething Skitter Priest. I think this is... Yeah, so this says, when this... when this it's a 4 mana 3/3 toxic one. When this enters the battlefield, creatures they control and the creature cards in their hand perpetually gain. When it dies, create a might. Okay, so now this dies into 2 mights, for instance. I did not draw a land here. Because of course I could punish a double block very nicely. That means I can trade the head cleaver. Yeah, I guess I could attack with... I guess I could attack with just the scrap trap and trade it with this thing. Now this doesn't do anything else when it's already on the battlefield. But I kinda just wouldn't mind proliferating once, and you know, then they don't have as good double blocks for the head cleaver. So I believe I'm gonna do this. It's also possible they take the damage, but you know, I don't mind if they take 4 here. They get 1 might here. But I have some more attackers. Because I can double spell quite nicely here, and now if I draw a land, this will exile creatures. I have the option to exile the ossification, but I'm only gonna get a 2/2 back. That's unlikely to be relevant. Now, this double menace guy, this is gonna be pretty tough for them to block both. They have a duelist of deep weight. They can double block now 1. I get a poison, but okay. They have no attacks. They are tapped out too. So I really wanted to draw just the land, but the Atlas isn't that bad. So what I can do in here... So this also creates a might, because this was in their hand when they cast the card that is no longer there. So I can attack with everything. So they have the option to take... I mean, they would take the 4 poison in that case if they don't block a head cleaver. So if they want to freely kill one of these choruses, that's gonna be bad for them. So what I can do, I can trade the head cleaver with one of these guys. And then I will still deal 3 poison to them. Yeah, that sounds like a very good idea. But am I going to kill the duelist or the 3/2? Because I'm gonna take some damage, poison damage myself, because they will get those mites that don't have anything else to do than attack, because they can't block, and I will not have blockers myself. So I guess I can have a surprise blocker, by the way. Yeah, it's really tempting, because I can just get rid of the ossification by playing the Atlas even. Okay. So can I prevent myself from getting corrupted? Well, if they attack with the if they attack with the one that survives and the mites, then even a 1 blocker won't be helping. I already have 1 poison. I think I will be corrupting, and I won't be caring about that. So maybe I should actually just get rid of the Hive Master anyway. If they get 2 mites here, they get 1 might here. Because this might be relevant, this extra power for their further double blocks, but then again, maybe it's not. Okay, I'm actually gonna just give them 1 might, so this is fine. They go to 7 poison, and then that happens. I'm gonna regardless play this thing, and then I have the option to use the vanish on onto the ossification, because that would of course only cost 3 mana. I can kill one of the... I guess if they only attack with the mites, I will maybe use the remove this thing, but it's quite valuable because on a creature too. Okay, what's this thing? 1, 2, sorry, 1, 3. Okay, well, it has the might production from the other card. Whenever 1 or more artifact creatures you control deal combat damage to the player, seek a non-land card with mana value 2 or less. Okay, so they will get a free card, and it's 1 or more, so it doesn't matter if I block one of them. They don't get any additional value when 2 of those creatures. So they're gonna seek a non-land card. Well, let's see now what happens. Yeah. So if I leave this as a 6 mana exile spell here, I mean exiling this wouldn't be that bad because then they don't get the mites. It is tempting still. Yeah, they can still play something, of course. It is very tempting to just exile this, but then again I can't. If I draw a spell, okay, I think for mana efficiency's sake, I'm gonna just exile this ossification right now, and this means that if I draw a spell, I can at least play that spell. And sadly, they will still get to do that thing, but I mean my attacks are still gonna. Actually, I should now crack them. I'm gonna use here black mana from here. Because I mean they still can't block. They will take 2 poison here, no matter how they block. That's just gonna happen. Okay, well the Hive Master now is gonna go because nothing else can go. They will be at 9 poison, so if I do get one of my proliferate effects, yeah, that will be good. Of course, they have only 1 blocker now. Note these mites don't block, so I have 3 poison toxic attackers. They need a combination of removal and blockers here. I'm not gonna block any of these. They will of course get that thing there. I go to 5 poison. I can of course still totally lose because look at the amount of cards in their hand. They will be able to stabilize here easily. So I do need to get a little bit lucky here. Draw some relevant spells. Ideally just something that, proliferates. Because now they seek a... So they conjure... No. Yeah, now they get to seek a non-land card. And... Well, that's something. So they have a... no, you may seek. Oh, I didn't even realize it. You don't have to. So, and they actually chose to get the planes. So you don't. You can get always a planes here if you want to. You have the option to do something else. Oh, look at this. Perfect. So. I mean, they're gonna have some tricks, but as long as this thing doesn't get countered, I'm in a good shape. So they're gonna block the Skull Dweller here. Yeah, they did seek a planes. I guess, okay, the thing is that they might just still exile this. Can I somehow, sacrifice this? I cannot, sadly. They might, bounce or exile this thing, or put a pacifism on it. But I guess I'm still just gonna attack with everything here. They're gonna deal something to some of these things, and yeah, sure. And then they will block the 2/2, and that is one answer they could have had for the rat here. But now this really requires that. Actually, sadly, they have a 1/3 to block with too. Yeah, but let's first see if they can just, they might just exile it. Okay, they have another of these fletchings. Now I believe they choose to get a non-land card. Yeah, I got a proliferate effect, but it's not enough. And I actually sadly have lost one of... So my 5-drop... Okay, and there's the planetary disruption. So I go now to 9 poison here. No, 8 poison here. But I am basically now... If I don't draw my 5-drop, it's game over. Yeah. That's happened. That was too much value they got. They have still 6 cards in their hand. So annoying to lose at this amount of them being at 9 poison. But what can you do? They had the removal for all my guys. Okay, I'm at 1-2 now. That's disappointing because I really wanted to go to 3 wins to make the event, not a horrible loss of gems. Even though I did redraft a lot of mythics. Yeah, I was just outclassed there totally. I was top decking mostly there. They were able to deal with the head cleavers. I didn't get, there was There were some stuff I could have drawn there, of course, but you don't always get what you need. Yeah. Next round. Could be the last. Yeah, that was like 2 losses which were so tight, close. I don't like it. Here I'm actually going to keep this no planes hand, because the Skullbomb can draw me a card and the Whelp is really decent, and of course these are good too, so this is a risky keep, but I believe it's worth it. I'm also on the draw, so that gives me... okay, that is now all I needed here, basically. I know this was a lucky draw, but I also have a pretty consistent mana base, so it's not that hard to... okay, another blue-white here. It's all the blue-whites. Alright, then they get... what's this annoying thing? Exile from the... okay, it's a... first of all, it's a 3 mana 3/3 toxic 2. Corrupted, they can exile it from the graveyard. They get a Nettle Assist. Alright. And of course Nettle Assist is this thing. Don't know if how good that is in this limited format, but anyway, it's a free card they get. Right. So of course I will be attacking and hoping they block. I have a feeling they're not gonna block. I know I could play the Atlas pre-combat, but then it's just... I mean, if they don't block, I'm gonna play the Whelp. That's the idea here. I have to take the 2 poison from there. Maybe they don't like the idea of getting poison damage, but there's just no way they're gonna block. I suppose there is a way for them to think I'm bluffing here, but that would be like next level stuff. Anyhow, this is... I mean, this is just a 3/3 that deals 2 poison. It's not the end of the world, but it is something I would really like to have in my deck, for instance. I think the Whelp is better, though. Against the blue-white, they might have auto-based removal, which is very good for my against all odds. Alright, so they just have pretty good stuff there. So they can just block the Whelp here now. Jeez. And I can't punish them. Not this turn. Well, it is what it is. I do feel like I'm in a very bad shape. Because I don't have good blocks on the 3/3. It's gonna deal a lot of poison to me. I know I could have left one to, you know, block. I could have like gotten a 2 for 1 or something like that, but I don't know. I'm really disappointed. Now, do I want to have a plains or do I want to... yeah, I think I want to have a non-land with this thing. So I'm gonna just play the Skullbomb and maybe crack it. I don't have to decide yet. But yeah, if I get... and I will get 1 more poison quite easily. This gets seeks a non-land card. But man, this thought from the opponent... I mean, this is actually good, very good stuff. Okay, that's something I can kill for free with the Whisper of the Dross. Okay, well, that's not gonna do anything. Yeah, I suppose I will. I mean, I don't know how can I beat this sentry here. But at least it's gonna be just a 1/5 here now. So I can attack with my guys. Okay, that's a way to beat it. Darn, that was important. That was such an important thing. I mean, I guess I'm gonna play the Fetchling anyway this turn. So just do this first. Yeah, I don't need a land. Seek a non-land card. Let's do that. Okay, that's a good one. Can trade with this guy. Amazing. Because I have the mana still to do all this stuff. Okay, so this was the kind of a good lucky stuff that I really needed to happen here. They also are gonna... I'm gonna fetch my 5. I mean, I could attack with this and get the 4-drop. Or I can just deal 2 poison and then get my, you know, 5-drop. I'm gonna choose the 5-drop here. Then I can maybe get a Kaya on the next turn if I... That's a thing. I can also just, you know, just win with the poison. Nothing to return with the against all odds yet. So they have to vanish for that thing, alright. But now, at least they can't attack really into my Skull Dweller, can they? Well, they can, but I doubt they're doing that. Incisor Glider. That's a good one. So I could force some attacks, but they're gonna eat the Duelist of the Deep Fate for free. And then they will eat. They will maybe just block the Whelp anyway. So I would be able to deal with, in that scenario, I would be able to deal 2 poison. And I know I have the Skull Bomb, but I actually do think the play this turn is the Scrap Trap. Now I'm gonna attack with the Skull Dweller regardless, that's just gonna happen. But I'm thinking if I should attack. I could force some... I don't think I'm gonna force anything right now on this turn. I will just, you know, attack. I mean, just attack with these and see what they do. This is just a toxic one now, nothing else. I will play the Scrap Trap, so they will go to more poison. I guess I'm not gonna get my Kaya with this. Okay, they do just take here damage. Now that's interesting actually. I'm almost tempted to play the Glider now, because I don't necessarily want them to know about this thing. And it's not like the Scrap Trap can really attack into the center, although it can because they want to block the Whelp regardless. The mana efficient play is to play the Scrap Trap for sure. Okay. I guess the Glider doesn't have that good attacks. I mean, it enables... whatever, let's do this. You know, the opponent is also have to be concerned about the Atlas eating their life total very slowly, but I guess I still have the capability to deal also just the regular damage, so I can make this clock faster. Three drop, 2-drop, 2-drop, 1-drop. So if any of these guys die, I can use the Against All Odds. I sort of hope that they're going to use an aura-based removal spell so that I can get rid of value of this. But I do realize I get value of the Scrap Trap, you know, entering again. So I think that's just going to be the play. Okay, they make that into a 4-4. So. They can double block. No, I kind of like the all-out attack, but the thing is, I really like the all-out attack once my Incisor Glider is here. So now I could attack with the Scrap Trap. They will have to basically block. I guess I can always attack with the Skull Dweller. That is just what I can do regardless. Yeah, I think I'm gonna, on this turn, I'm gonna attack with the Skull Dweller. Realizing I still can, you know, for example, make the Scrap Trap into a 6-6 flyer. I would be more happy about that decision if they are completely tapped out. I don't want to meet an instant speed interaction for that. So this is a safe attack. I can just do this and I don't care whether they block or not. And I think it's very hard for them not to block. I think the Nettling Host was supposed to block it already on the previous turn. Instead they do that, which is now fine. Oh, they have a way to save it. Yeah, first strike from that thing. Alright. So now they are completely tapped out, but there's nothing too relevant I can do right now. I know I can use the Against All Odds on the Scrap Trap and return the Skull Dweller and still have mana for the Glider. That would, you know, give an extra poison to them. But I'm not sure if that is what I want to do right now. Might even actually just get a card here. I'm gonna get a card here. Maybe it's a bit greedy, but I feel like I'm not in a hurry, and they have to also worry about the Atlas, like I said. To get the maximum value out of this, I kind of want them to have some of the aura-based removal that the color combination can easily have. Okay, that thing has double strike. Well, that I don't like. I guess the Scrap Trap has to now... Scrap Trap has to now just, just proliferating ones with the ETB isn't really gonna do that much. They have 1, 2, 3, 4 blockers. I have only 3 toxic attackers, so that's a no good. So I guess I just have to make the Scrap Trap into a 6/6 now flyer, and they will have to either jump block with the sentry or trade with the apostle, which I would also like quite a bit here. Attacking with everything, even with the incisor glider, that just doesn't do anything. So I'm going to do now like this. Don't think it makes any sense. Yeah, they have 2 flyers. Yeah, it's just gonna be this, because the damage this doesn't have no toxic. Oh, ossification. Well, how about that? How about I get my second ossification here? So now I get rid of the angel here, and I force them to jump block. And I can also attack with all these. I'm not dying into any counter attacks, because they have to block the Scrap Trap now. Yeah, these card drawing lands can sometimes be quite good. Yeah, there's no way they're gonna survive here now. They first of all, they take too much damage. I get actually I don't get anything here because they got the 8. Yeah, there's no 8 drop in the deck, but that's like a little thing only. The point is that this Atlas is gonna be lethal by itself, and of course my board is lethal already. But let's say they have the I guess if they have the might removal spell, the mass removal, X equals 5 or more, kill everything, because that also gains life. So that's still an out they might have. Okay, well, they have a decent deck here, but it's just not gonna work, of course. My flyers will be lethal here, so this doesn't really matter. I can just jump block for fun here and take, I suppose, 2 poison here, whatever, it doesn't matter. The opponent just wants to attack a little bit here. There was no mistake I could have made there. And now I'll just... might as well. Well, let's not give them the opportunity to block, because it just prolongs the game too much. Alright. I'm still in the event. 2-2 result. Just one more win to get the 1000 gems mark, which is the spot in Premier Drafts you always want to hit. My rank is only gold now because the season just changed. That is a sweet hand. Yeah, this is gonna start the toxic stuff unless they do have a 1-drop, which of course they can. Well, it seems like they have. But I have a very good continuation now. I can play the tap land this turn. Hive Master into... Yeah, that was a really disappointing thing. But good for them, I guess. But you usually want to play assume to get 1 damage with this thing done. But like I said, it's still a very decent hand here. I can get a Hive Master into the Sealed Red's Head Cleaver, and well, if the game prolongs, I maybe can get the Kaya on the battlefield. Well, that's... opponent is really matching my curve very well here. So I could ossificate it right away, but I think it's just better to play this thing first. If they do attack with the sentry, it is a free attack in the sense that, forget about everything, they just had the perfect cheese. They actually had removal on my good mana curve. Now I can remove this back, so there is that, but that was really annoying. I think I'm gonna crack this for a card no matter what, because I just want to hit the land drops. I know I could maybe make this fly on the next turn, but it's just not gonna happen. I'm gonna crack this for a card, because I might, draw another tap land, because I already have the mana for the ossification, so let's see if I get the tap land here. I did not. I don't quite have mana to play the Atlas and the ossification, but the Atlas is my missing black from the Kaya and also missing mana in terms of mana count, but if they continue to have some means to get, you know, removal, I guess they don't have now a threat on the battlefield. They have only 1-3, but I mean, I really wish I have time to just play the Kaya, please, because their start against my start was such a great one. The Whisper getting my 1-drop, this getting my 4-drop, and in the meanwhile they were able to even deal some poison damage with the 1-4 there. Okay, Scourge is slow enough. I don't actually care about them getting life, because once I have Kaya online, they should be almost surely enough to win the game. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is my 6th mana. So they're gonna block now. I don't mind if they block here. It seems like they have a trick there. I guess I have a charge of the mites. In which case I should have played the Atlas first. That was a mistake. Oh, mistake. Well, fine. I will lose the trick here. I guess this only deals 1 damage, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, they're gonna trick up. It's the +1/+1 aura, isn't it? Yeah, so I guess I can kill that thing. It deals 1 damage. I will get the creature. Okay, actually I can still play the Atlas, because this dies into a creature, so I can still finish this off if I want to. I think I will. So what the idea is that I can play this, and now I still have the mana for it. Okay, they have only 1 card in hand. Kill this, because I don't want to take 4 in the air, because I just need to find 1 more mana source for Kaya, which will win the game if it's anything. If the board states look anything like this, I will win with Kaya. Okay. Let's see if they have another Vraska's Fall. That's also that's one way to get rid of Kaya if I don't have any creature. Hexproof doesn't protect against this. But now, this is the point here. I'm gonna first just assume that they can't get rid of this thing, so I'm gonna +2 first, and then I think I'm gonna start drawing cards. I could use the -3. I know I could have used it right away here. Okay, well, well, I should have done that. Now they... Alright, I didn't really realize that they're gonna get... Oh, because they can... Okay, I get the blocker. That's all I needed here, because of course now I'm gonna get rid of the Scourge. I think regardless I'm gonna do this now, am I not? But I don't need to... Let's do it like... No, I have the chorus there. No, yet let's do it like this. Okay, no, I have 2. Okay, this is not good. This is not good. Exile, target, creature on range. Okay, come on. Scourge goes away. I get the 1/1 of course here myself. And then I can play 2 blockers. Now this should be enough. Kaya should win from this point. They get to do infinity of these creatures, but it doesn't matter because I have these blockers now, so... So I can just block with the 1/1 here. And this isn't gonna... Yeah, they are not corrupted yet, so there's no life loss. I think it's time for them to concede now. I really hope they don't have a means to somehow actually beat this board. Yeah, they get all those mites back, but it's not really gonna do much because I'm gonna take over. And actually just win in a very short order here. Siphoner. That's... Well, now they can... Well, I have a blocker on it, so it's actually no big deal. No big deal. Alright, so should I do card draw or... yeah, they get to scry 1, but I get to draw 2 cards. I'm actually gonna draw 2 cards now. Now I have used each of the loyalty abilities. Alright, Skrell's Hive. They get to scry 1 to bottom. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. So I can play a couple of these. I think I'm just play the creatures here. I will leave them... I will leave the 1/1 here to block. I know I'm gonna get another flyer, but I'd rather have 2 flyers to block and protect the Kaya. Of course, soon Kaya doesn't matter, and I'm just winning with poison anyway. This thing is death, that's lifelink also. So if they have the mass removal, I guess that still wins the game for them. You know, X equals 5 or more. Kill everything. Okay, these now die into... these die into more mites, but even that won't matter now. This is actually... Is this a lethal attack I have going on now? Because they have only one blocker and this pumps my team. I think it's a lethal attack. Wow, I mean, especially with the Kaya. Just do this and they can block. I mean, I have the ossification here. I guess I'm gonna do also this, because why not? But this is a lethal attack, so I'm not gonna even bother using the ossification on their only blocker here. Because, you know, this is gonna be... The most they can block here is the 2-2, which is about to become a 3-3, and then they take 3, 5, and 9 damage here, 1 life loss here. And I guess this is also almost lethal. I mean, if I would have used the ossification, it would have also been 10 poison total. Okay, I got to 3 wins. Hooray. So this is the kind of the minimum point when you don't mind you know, losing the 3rd game. But of course the 4th win is worth almost enough gems to make it a completely break-even event. So hunger grows when you eat, I guess. But at least I have used Kaya a couple of times. It has won me games, and I have used all of the loyalty abilities too. So in that sense, I'm satisfied. This is a decent hand. This will get me a land, which I definitely need now. I don't have the 1-drop here because of the tapped land, but I can live with that. Okay, they get a land there. And given that I have the 5 mana card here, I think I'll just go for the plains. I know I could have waited with this, just play the Skull Dweller now and maybe, you know, play this later on with... Because I have means to actually... Oh, but I can return this thing. Ah, that's sweet. Oh, do they not have a block on this? Ah, that's really good for me. But yeah, what I can do, I can use the Attendant to return the Fetchling. And then re-trigger it when they are at, you know, 3 or more poison, ideally. But them missing the 3-drop means... 2-drop means that they might have a block now that can block the Fetchling, but it will also just... Oh, that's not even gonna do much. So they didn't have this on the previous turn because they did have the mana for it. So they just drew it and I don't know, they just drew it and what happened? Or maybe they had the counterspell. You know, there's the counterspell that unless I'm corrupted, I can pay 2 mana to not care about it. So did they have a pause when I played this thing? Because I had 2 mana up. I could have paid for it. I mean, no reason to make any deep analysis of that kind. I'll just if they're gonna block the Skull Dweller, so I can still return the Fetchling here. So, but before that happens, I'll just, you know, play my Head Cleavers here, because these are gonna poison the opponent very easily now, because they have no blockers. These deal 2 poison per guy. I have this proliferating, so it's once as an ETB, and then if it dies, that's the second one. Okay, that is, you know, 2/5 blocker on the Fetchling, no big deal. To be fair, that is pretty decent in enabling blocks on these, you know, these menace guys, but, you know, I have 2 of them, so it's still going to be something that's not that easy. So this will, if they have anything that deals 2 damage, they can double block and not only double block, but, you know, double block and kill my guy. But what is this? They have a Voidwing hybrid here. All right. So now if I attack with absolutely everything, what happens? I mean, if they don't want to block the Head Cleavers, Yeah, I mean, I don't have to leave the dream returning the fetchling here. I'm just having a better attack if I attack with everything, because if they go to 8 poison, which means that they don't block any of the head cleavers. I suppose they always go. No, they can eat. No, they can do that. But now they lose both hybrids. Yes, they can get them back. They can get them back when they proliferate, but it's still something that they is gonna lose a lot of tempo for them. So they go to 7 poison now and lose most of their creatures. And now I can just play, you know, I can return it. Oh no, it's just gonna be a scrap trap now. And I have still more poisonous stuff coming here. There are 3 colors, I don't know, I mean they have these blue-black 2-drops and they have these forests in the deck too. I guess they have something very good from green. Yeah, I really like the head cleavers in decks that mainly try to poison the opponent, because this is really, you know, kind of deals a lot of damage. Okay, they get their own head cleaver, which isn't gonna help them too much unless they have something for... yeah, it's not gonna help them too much. They're also gonna take 5 damage here. Now I'm gonna lose my head cleaver and they are not going to lose anything, but point is then the scrap trap is going to be a... Oh, I can just bounce the scrap trap and play it on the next turn, but regardless, let's do this now, because I'm not sure, because they play blue. I don't want to lose the counterspell here. Now if this was... No, I can't play this Returner land now. I guess I just force them to hold mana up for a counterspell then. This might get exiled, although there are not many cards that makes it go into exile. I think it's best to just do this and return the scrap trap and hope they can't make me discard it, and hope that they don't get to counter it. They also have to still deal, I mean, in addition to all that, they have to deal with 3 poisonous attackers, all of which are lethal. Now they do have 2 blockers, and they can play more blockers, but the point is I still have just an insta-win if they don't have a counterspell, and based on their concession, I assume that was the case. Okay, that was the 4th win. So I won the first one, then I lost 2 ones, but now I have had 3 back-to-back wins. And there's a lot more exciting, you know, ways to proceed in this premier draft event than in traditional drafts where you always just play 3 matches. And because sometimes you can even start 0-2 and still finish at 7 wins. That said, I still prefer the best of 3 match structure and sideboarding. But yeah, this draft is already very good. I picked 3 mythic rares and I'm at 4 wins. And who knows, you know, could be more because this is another good hand. I won't be on the play this time, but it doesn't matter. I have a 2 into 3 into maybe Kaya. Maybe Kaya, but they have a fast start now, so let's hope. Okay, well, that is a good start. I know these are just 1/1s, but the problem, of course, every time when you face this kind of starts is that if they have, you know, back-to-back removal spells. This would have been really good on the turn 1, but I guess I at least got to play the tapped land now. So if they remove this, I go to 3 poison. If they remove my next thing, but well, they didn't, so they have no good attack. I might be able to stabilize now. This thing can sack another artifact or creature, get plus... Yeah, it doesn't matter. This is not poisonous. So let's, I believe, just play this thing here. I don't think there's any point for me to attack, because they can just block with these and sack the chorus or something like that. So no. Do need to have something to deal with that. Skullbomb, what's this? I haven't seen any island yet. Alright. Well, they can sack an artifact also, so they can... Okay, they just draw a card. Yep, I mean, this stalemate is good, especially when I keep drawing lands, because Kaya is coming. So again, as long as they have the Centurion here, this acts as a 4/4 blocker by sacking some nonsense which they don't care about. Which just means that I don't get value from my proliferating effects now, because I think the Scrap Trap will be my play on the next turn. But if I get to the Kaya here, that's all I need. And land is really good for that reason. I can actually exile this thing on the next turn if I really want to. Sacrifice another artifact, yeah. Alright, well, let's do this and try to win with Kaya. So I'm not gonna proliferate more poison to myself. That's a good old 5 mana 4/4. Well, it has a death trigger still. But I mean, if this board state holds, and they don't have their mass removal effect, they do have that, which I'm gonna just exile immediately. I hope they don't have any means to protect, but I don't think white can offer a means to protect in this set. In many sets it does. Alright, ossification on that is acceptable. And there's the 7th mana, but I can't play it now. Let's say that exile this thing, and soon I will have my own bomb. Actually, it doesn't get exiled because they can sack it, but still doesn't matter. Yeah, this is only activated only once each turn, but it's still good enough to hold my guys at bay. So if I don't draw an untapped land, I will just play the Atlas on the next turn. If I do, Kaya. I have enough blockers for... Yeah, this goes to 8 loyalty. I can actually now... What I can do, I can actually crack one of the lands, because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lands plus the Atlas. So I will have mana for the Kaya regardless. Now if I do it right now, I have only 1 mana left. I think I'm better off seeing what I draw before I do any such decisions. Might be relevant. Maybe, I mean, if I draw 1 mana card, now I can play both Kaya and a 1 mana card. So they will do that now. Do I want to take 6 or maybe 8 if they choose to sacrifice something? They might want to corrupt me. They might want this thing to die, actually. I can exile it. I can definitely take tier 6 or even 8 damage. Definitely can do that, but I also want to kind of make them use the... let me see. This with double chorus is gonna be just infinite 4/4 size, because they have so many sacrificable things. Yeah, I don't think it now makes sense to make any kind of blocks. I will leave my creatures to protect Kaya from attacks. And now Edifice killing my crawling chorus. Alright. That happens. Okay, Kaya might actually no longer help me, because they had a little bit too much stuff in here. Because the problem is that my blocks aren't that good. Because I can protect it by blocking, but they have actually decent attackers there. So I can exile something like the Scrap Trap here. Oh, but even it won't even get... Oh, I can only say exile the Cutthroat Centurion, actually. But then this is at 3 loyalty. And at 3 loyalty it means that they can attack into it. So I can just jump block the Scrap Trap. My own Centurion will actually be able to be a 3/3 thanks to this thing. So I can jump here, trade here. I guess my Kaya would go to 1 loyalty if they don't have anything. But I will lose Kaya otherwise. But if I plus Kaya, it goes to 8 loyalty. I don't have good blocks now anymore. They can just attack with everything there. I think I just need to exile the Cutthroats. Oh, and they have a effect there. No, the effect they have is this activation. So yeah, that's why they are having priority. They don't necessarily have anything in their hand. So The only thing I can exile is the Centurion because they can sacrifice any other creature. And I need my 1/1 here. So let's do this. I believe this is the play I need to make. At least I get to eat the Centurion. So I mean I already got the cards worth of value. Of course I do want to have a lot more than that from a 7 mana spell than trading with a 3-drop. But now if they have no tricks or anything, you know, if a single removal spell makes it enough for them to be able to win the, you know, Kaya in combat. But now that they currently don't have any such thing, I can protect Kaya. This proliferating will even give it more loyalty. So this has to be jump blocked. Yeah, there's just no way out of it. Which I'm gonna jump block with. I guess it's gonna be this after all. I don't need this to be a 3/3. This blocks here. No, I want to... Yeah, I want to proliferate, I think. So let's do this. And this blocks the fed. This guy gonna turn into other creatures. So now Kaya goes to 1 loyalty unless they have something. There's no way to save this. This would be only a 3/3, so... And it can be only used once, so I can't, you know, sack this and this to make it into a 5/5. So let's do this. And they didn't have a trick right now. So I get to proliferate counter to Kaya, but of course I can go to 4 loyalty. It's still not easy. I need to draw something. Whisper there. Well, that's sad. I have no... Yeah, so now I need to draw something, but it is... I have a lands that sack into cards. And I can draw 2 things, so... Okay, I can draw 2 cards and let them scry once, or I can go to 4 loyalty. And then just... But this has to jump block there. I don't like it. Yeah, I need... Yeah, the fact they had the Whisper of the Droster. Don't like it at all. Okay, let's get 2 cards. That is gonna be pretty good. Against all odds. Don't have my... This is artifact or creature, not a planeswalker, sadly. Alright. So I can get back like a Blight Belly Rat. So I can play... I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... That's 9 mana, right? So I can play this. I can sack one of these lands, I suppose. Let's do that first. I will attack with these 2 because they have no blocking duty. Okay, that's close. Well, first of all, let's do the attacks. Finally, they get some poison here. And sadly, it's not enough. But is it? I mean, I can get mana from this again. Yeah, if I do it like this, okay. Do it like this, this, and this. Then I can use against all odds. Returning, but I still don't have the mana to... I'm still 1 mana short. Because I can you know, return this thing to the battlefield and I will have 3 mana, access to 3 mana after that. Man. I don't think there's any way I can save Kaya now. I guess there is one way. Okay, fine. There is one way. Blight Belly Rat. Yeah, this is it. I wanna proliferate. Yeah, there is one way. Because I can kill one of the Choruses. And it is worth saving. They have a Seed Core. It's +2/+1. Yeah, okay, this is no longer the case. Yeah, they had the Seed Core. I mean, my plan was to jump block the Scrap Trap and then kill one of the Choruses. But then they can use the Seed Core to pump the other one. Okay, bye-bye Kaya. That is it. Kaya is dead. Man. That was just corrupted. That was just enough for that thing to work. Sure. Okay. So am I going to... Please don't play a blocker. I want to attack for 5 poison. Because I can do that by getting 2 of these, but... Look at these. None of that actually mattered at all. They're gonna have... How many mites? 5 plus 2, because they will get... Yeah. 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 They proliferate. So they had the White Sun's Twilight. I mean, I had a Bomb Rare. They had one too. I have no way to block all these. They even have a Seed Core. Yeah, I mean, I guess I can see what I draw, but it doesn't matter. I mean, let's try. Oh, they don't have any... This doesn't do any damage here. Can I win by attacking for 2 poison? No, I can't. So let's make them lose 1 life here. Cancel. Too late. I was supposed to crack one of these lands. Oh well. So I need to block 5 of these guys. 2, I mean. Which I can do. So I suppose... Yeah. Okay, I can block 2 of them. Then I don't quite die. Oh, wait a minute. If I know I'm gonna draw this specific card, would I have won the game? If I played the Charge of the Might? Actually, my idea was that I need to kill all these guys. I mean, actually, I would have won the game. Huh. I would have won the game. You're kidding me. So if I play the Charge of the Might, which I thought I need to save it to, so that I can kill 1 more of these mites, they would be now at 5 poison, because I would have attacked for 2 on the previous turn. Now, I would have this situation. I attack with these, they can't block, they go to 7. I mean, in that case 9, and they can block with 1 of these mites. And I even have this thing. Well, I actually had to win, but now I don't have it. I mean, this is the fact they had this, and even if they didn't, I can't kill all those 5. I had to win. I mean, maybe I should have realized that maybe I need to specifically draw a Sheoldred's Headcleaver and go for the poison win. I almost got there. There's nothing now I can do against this. I mean, of course, the White Sun's Twilight almost always wins the game when you get to resolve it with x equals 5 or more. But I'm sure now. I mean, I didn't make any... I mean, should I have realized that I may be able to win with poison here? I mean, I should have realized that, and I should have gone for it. I'm really sad. Because, yeah, the turn when they cast this, I could have done this end of turn, get 2 of those mites. I just took the turn with the intention to kill 1 of these. I'm repeating myself, I know. But it is true. Then they would have been able to, on the previous turn, they would have gone to 5 poison, and now they just drew this. It's not like they can do any differently. Because I happened to draw the second Headcleaver. Yeah, that these are gonna be dealing 4 poison, so they would be at 9, and I would still have the 2 mites, of which they can block only 1. Plus the Skull Bomb makes 1 of them fly anyway. So I could have beaten a resolved White Sun's Twilight with X 5 or more. But I didn't realize. Of course, I just drew the second Headcleaver. If this was in my hand, I could have done the math, but I didn't realize that this was a sort of an out. Alright, well, I'm still positive about the result because I got to draft a bunch of mythic rares. I got to use my own Planeswalker quite a few times, and most importantly, I got to 4 wins, which makes it basically break even. So let's just have one more look at the deck. Now, it's not ideal to play like 2 Phyrexian Atlases, but I think in this deck, with the Kaya, it wasn't so bad. Plus the life loss, I don't know if it mattered at any point, but it was still an alternate path to victory, because sometimes when you can put the opponent to a high amount of poison counters, with your stuff like blight belly rats and these things. What can happen? There's a stalemate where the opponent can't really attack you, so they have the better board, but they can't attack you because they have to have enough blockers for all your toxic creatures that would deal the lethal amount of poison damage. And in that case, the Phyrexian Atlas can be quite nice because in the stalemate situation they are still losing life, so that stalemate will be winnable by you regardless, thanks to the help from the Atlas artifacts. So that is one way to actually also make the life loss matter. But yeah, it wasn't like the greatest deck. I sadly wasn't able to use this that many times. But so in terms of this is an alchemy draft. I didn't really have more than 2 alchemy cards this thing, I guess, and the first pick in the draft. And I didn't even get to use them that much. So usually these alchemy drafts, of course, because the draft has only 3 per person, it has only 3 alchemy cards. So that's not a lot. And of course, not all of them even end up in decks. But of course, in some decks you can pick like 5 or 6 of them when they get passed to you. But yeah, these are not that different from regular set drafting, which is why I'm a little bit curious why so many people just don't want to watch it. I had a poll on my channel. Around 50% said that they are not interested in alchemy drafts. Maybe they are not interested in premier drafts because my channel is mainly about traditional drafts. But I mean, it's not like this is hugely different than the regular set draft. Of course, some of the alchemy mechanics are present here. Of course, if you really hate anything related to alchemy, I can see not being interested in seeing drafts which feature these cards. But this is mostly regular set draft anyway. But yeah, I have talked enough. I will see you tomorrow. I mean, if you are watching this on the same day as it publishes, so the next day will be a traditional draft, and I think I might record a few of these. So the day after that will be against one of these, and traditional draft every second day as usual still. Let's claim the prize here, and it is time to say bye bye and thank you for watching.